All right, guys, so in this video, I'm talking to the young entrepreneurs, the 20-ish-year-olds who want to start a business. So stay here, I'm gonna go over some key points as to what you should be thinking about if that's you. What's up, guys? Chidester here, teaching you how to build profitable online businesses. Now, long ago, I was still in my 20s. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still in my 20s. And the number one advice I would tell you is to not start a business. I'm just kidding too. But my real advice is that, I think I say this in almost every video, prepare yourself to fail. Prepare yourself for something that's gonna be probably one of the hardest things you've ever done. And if you're not willing to go through those two things, don't do it. Now, what I genuinely believe is that if you're willing to put in the time and the process and the skills and learn the skills necessary to be successful, you eventually will. I think some people are farther ahead than others. So it might take this person 6 months, it might take this person 8 years, but in the grand scheme, if you're living to 80 years old, it really doesn't matter that much because you're gonna live a majority of your life making a lot more income than the average person, right? So let's just assume that success for most people means financial security, right? Or more finances. I think what most people don't understand or what they're not prepared for is how difficult it is. In fact, I don't even think I knew how difficult it was gonna be, but because I burned all my other ships, I didn't really have another choice. And I think psychologically, when you do that, it forces you to go that direction. So I think maybe the biggest advice I would give you is that if you really do want to build a business and be an entrepreneur, that you have to burn all your other ships, that you have to, go another direction, that you have to, be willing to push forward even when it's tough. Because I think what a lot of people do is they might have an easy job or they're going to school, whatever, and they start this thing and they get hit in the mouth. They go, oh, I didn't really like that. I'm gonna go back here because it's what's normal and it's what feels safe. What you really have to do is kind of burn those ships so you can't go back. And then you have to go this direction. So I'll give you an example of what that was for me. When I was turning 22, I was going to my final year of petroleum engineering at Texas A&M, and they, I had to make a decision if I was gonna go back to school or not. And I really didn't want to. I just was really over it. I didn't see myself doing engineering for the rest of my life. And so I stopped and I went all in on business. And because I didn't finish with my degree, I didn't really have a choice other than to make that work. I could go back to school, right? But it just would have been a pain in the ass to try to relearn all that math because it's very high level math and I would have lost a lot of it. So I would say that's the first thing to do is to burn your ships. Second thing to do is take all the money you have or save up and hire someone who you believe can get you to where you want to go. Now, you may choose wrong. And I chose wrong quite a few times. I'd say 80% of the coaches I hired have not been good, but what I did learn was all the things not to do. And learning the things not to do is just as important as learning the things to do. I know that sounds weird, but let me say it again. The things not to do, maybe you rewind. The things not to do are just as important as the things to do. And the reason for that is because a lot of people, they're going all these different directions. They're hearing all these different things. So if you have 10 different things people have said and you're crossing them off, you're like, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. It gets you closer to your goal, believe it or not. That's why they say failure, right, is the preliminary to success. So you're not ever gonna just go from 0 to success. You're gonna have failures along the way. That's the failure part. So the number one thing you can do and the fastest way to go from where you are to where you're trying to go is to pay someone money to teach you what to do. Preferably some type of course or environment that gives you one-to-one coaching, which is what I provide because I feel it's the best. Now, yes, it's the most expensive, don't get me wrong, but I also feel it is the best for that person. Okay, so that'll be the second thing. And then the third thing is do it while you have no responsibilities, okay? I get a lot of different clients. I get a lot of people who come in my messages and they talk to me and we get on phone calls. And the number one thing I would tell you is that at the end of the day, it's easier to get to your goal if you don't have kids, if you don't have a job that's holding you down, you don't have a bunch of bills. Move home, live with your parents, eat top ramen, work part-time as a server, rest of the time work on your business and just build it. So that when you're older and you want to have a family and you want different things, you can have that. But if you spend your whole life just going you know, back and forth, or you wait until you're older and you have a bunch of responsibility, is so much harder. It's so much harder with kids and a wife and work and job and bills. It's so much harder to be who you want to be or to build a successful business. So those are the tips I have to you youngsters out there. I hope that's helpful. If you guys have any other questions, drop them down below. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll try to respond as much as possible. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.